This little handheld was my childhood dream. Okay, obviously not this unburning device, because this one has not existed when I was a child, little boy, back in the early 90s when I was 12, and I was hooked for my Super Nintendo and my Game Boy. And lately when I bought this device, I was just scrolling through the different emulators which this device can emulate. I don't know, guys, how many you can see it, but it's basically up to PS1 and some of the Dreamcast and Nintendo 64 devices. It can emulate everything. And I just scrolled through on the list of games, and I imagined myself back in the early 90s walking into the school with this handheld console, and I would just show off to my friends, hey, wanna take a look at this? It has all of the SNES games on it, and the Mega Drive games on it, and all the Game Boy games on it. I cannot even imagine the reaction, because back then we had only Game Boys and Game Gears, but Game Boy was more popular back then. And if I imagine myself to have this device with a color screen, with the RGB lights, cool battery life, and all of the games which I wanted back then, I cannot even imagine how happy I would. It would absolutely blow my mind, because back then we weren't, in my childhood, we weren't really rich. Okay, we not really poor, over middle class, and I had a SNES and a few games for it, and we always just swapped with my friend, and there was a market where we could exchange used SNES games, and obviously we had a limited amount of games what we could play. But nowadays we are blessed with games. Even on mobile you can download infinite number of games. So I don't know if nowadays is better or it was better back then, but I think it's, if I look back in with nostalgia, we would appreciate the games more, because nowadays because you have so many games to play, some people are not even playing many games, just few of them. Okay, I start this, okay, I play it for a few minutes, maybe an hour, I never play it again. But when your games are limited, you really haven't got a choice. So maybe you bought the game, and you see, because you just see the box art and, oh, I'm gonna love it. You took it home, put it into the SNES or Genesis or whatever console you had, and you start to play and you realize that, this game is bad. But that's it, that was your choice. So maybe you could exchange it with someone else or sell it, but there is no, it's not just like nowadays that, okay, I'll stop the emulator and I'm going to play something else. But at the same time, this thing is a blessing, because it's pocketable. I can put it in my pocket and play all of the games which I always wanted to, but I couldn't, because obviously to have all of these consoles and all the games for it, that's also not a possibility. Even for the richer kids, that's not the choice. But today I have the option to play all these cool old school games and make video about it. So I don't think so there's really a conclusion for this video, guys. I just wanted to do this little thought to how I would react, my 12-year-old self, if I would receive a handheld device like this, and I would be the coolest kid in the school to have it. Alright, that's it. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's keep on gaming, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.